Welcome to Avowed, the game where you get to be the hero, the villain, or the one weirdo who steals everything from everyone instead of saving the world. Set in the fantastical world of Eora, this first-person RPG lets you wield magic, swords, and questionable life choices as you uncover a conspiracy that's darker than your ex-girlfriend's sense of humor. This is Avowed, but not as the developers intended. This is Avowed as a slow-motion train wreck and a masterclass on how to fail upwards. You play as an envoy of the Adirian Empire sent to investigate a mysterious plague of soul-sucking magic. But let's be real, I'm just here because I heard about loot and maybe a dragon or two, or three. With a mix of combat, exploration, and moral dilemmas that will make you question whether you're the hero or just a glorified problem solver with a sword, Avowed promises to be the kind of adventure where you'll either save the world or accidentally set it on fire. Probably both, so let's dive into it, shall we? Alright, so after sitting through what felt like a 12-hour TED talk about the lore of Avowed, apparently we're playing as a godlike, which is basically a fancy way of saying we got touched by a god in the womb. Sounds divine, doesn't it? Well, turns out divine intervention comes with a price, and that price is looking like shit in all the right and the wrong places. That is why there's probably these extremely strange facial features and all that. Like there's this one that legit looks like some fungus is growing off this man's face. I decided to make the game a little bit easier for myself, not in the combat difficulty aspect. It turns out the real boss fight is systemic inequality. I figured if I'm going to survive this fantasy world, I might as well give myself the ability to not worry about getting side-eyed by every god in town. You can call it privilege mode. Alright, so after spending a little bit of time in the character creation screen, I explore all the facial features because apparently being a godlike means you've got more facial options than a plastic surgeon's portfolio. I decided to keep it relatively basic, no fungus face, just some sad looking dude. Now it's time to pick a background, and I've had the brilliant idea of becoming a wizard.
Harry, you are a wizard!
For my character, I go with where I am an arcane scholar, so I graduate at the top of my class from Braggenhale Academy, wrote some fancy paper about soul lineages, and then that pissed off some local lord so much that he basically came to me and said, "Alright, smartass, come work for me in the Imperial Archives." So now I'm sitting on a mountain of knowledge, some legal bullshit, and a little bit of poetry. I have for some reason forgotten more than most people will ever know, which is either quite impressive or just really sad. I've decided to make all my attributes the same because, I'm not here to min or max on anything. I'm just here to be pretty average, the jack of all trades, but a wizard. The game asks me what I identify as, and there is a they option. I like to see when game developers have such a sense of humor to add these type of things into games. It just kind of adds a little bit of a joke into it, I end up naming myself Randy, don't ask why, I just did. Randy is a strong name. Randy is the kind of guy who drinks questionable amount of alcohol, starts bar fights, and still somehow gets invited to family gatherings. Randy does not pay taxes, not because he's evading them, but because he simply doesn't acknowledge their existence. I respect Randy, and you should too. It then shows me another cutscene that turned out to be quite disturbing. It showed the disease and how it's turned this cute little animal into some creepy ass zombie type thing. We then start our travel to the living lands via boat transportation, and everything goes according to plan and we have a completely safe trip. Nah, just kidding. We start getting shot at by another boat and our ship goes down. I wake up on the beach and there is this blue hairy guy, kind of strange looking, but I gotta appreciate the beard with all the braids and everything. It's not easy to do that. I thank him for saving me and we decide to find the rest of the crew if they are still alive. Making my way through the land, I find this little animal I saw in the dramatic cutscene, and the first thing I thought was that we were stranded here with nothing, so I started thinking about food. So I butcher the big boy and turns out I can't even loot him. I end up doing some fighting along the way. The fighting feels so fluid in this game, I really enjoy it. We take this big oak down and he seems to have an eggplant in his inventory. So I store that away for a future situation I might find myself in, as we never know. Anyways, I find this one lady who is locked away in his jail cell. She seemed a bit frightened by my facial features, which kind of hurt me emotionally. But then she explained about the sickness and how it affects your face and all that, and it started to make me feel a little bit better about myself. She tells me that she has a boat to get off of this island, I think, not sure exactly. The blue oak tells me not to trust her, but I say that I believe her and want to help her. But then I play an innocent prank on her and tell her that I'm going to take the boat and leave her behind to die. You know, you really get to know a lot about someone once you play an innocent prank on them to see what their reaction would be like. And this lady went straight to calling me a snake and saying fuck you. But I tell the lady, nah, don't worry, it was just an innocent prank, don't get so touched, you know. And we end up getting out of there and going to her so-called boat.
They just don't. Something caused this.
On our way there, I find a wand and a spell book. I can finally be the wizard that Randy always wanted to be. Now I can shoot flames and all that fancy magic shit. People need to watch out. Randy has a wand in hand and zero self-control. We keep moving and we find this one guy that looks to be rather sick in the face and he's saying some random shit. So I take the big boy down and take all his things. Damn, I gotta just take a moment to appreciate my boy Randy. Man's mad built, he's been in the gym since day one, you know. Anyways, we head off to the boat and start sailing to Paradise, and at least the boat actually exists. We arrive to shore after a safe boat ride, and I'm not kidding this time. And then I say my goodbyes to the blue oak, I suppose his name is Garrick, and I say goodbye to the jail cell lady and head off to start my journey. As I am walking away from the pier, there is the scaly guy and a militia captain. They stop to tell me that this dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy, which is me.
And he's late. Probably died at sea. Good riddance.
I decide to come off sounding a little bit like an asshole, and I say,
"You want to try saying that in a way that doesn't piss off the Imperial Envoy."
She starts getting all defensive and saying sorry, but we all know that she really isn't that sorry.
Nice.
We get on with the conversation and she tells me that the guy I am looking for, the ambassador, is nowhere to be found. So now it is up to me to help find the big boy. He's an ambassador, so he's probably out chilling, getting some bitches, as all ambassadors do. Me and the scaly fellow named Kai decide to partner up and go looking together, as he is looking for someone that should be with the ambassador. On my way to find the ambassador and his bitches, I end up killing off the entire species of bears in this game. Not actually, but it definitely feels like I did. Anyways, we enter this creepy but cool looking cave type thing, and I fight off more bears. I end up burning them all alive, so if anyone comes walking through here, they might just find some pre-cooked bear meat just laying around. Because at the end of the day, I'm not just a ruthless killer, I'm also a generous provider to the local economy. Speaking of being a ruthless killer, my girlfriend is currently mad at me because I apparently forgot our anniversary, which is crazy because I distinctly remember it was sometime this year. But yeah, while I commit mass arson against the bear population, please take a moment to message my girlfriend and tell her that anniversaries are just a capitalist construct designed to sell overpriced dinners and flowers. This probably won't help my situation, but it will definitely confuse her. Anyways, I end up finding the ambassador hiding away in a little corner because some mutant bear is chasing him or whatever. Turns out that the man was not getting all the bitches, he is just the bitch. Look, I'm not here to judge, but if you're a grown man hiding from a bear in the fetal position, maybe it's time to reassess your life choices. But hey, at least he knows how to pick his battles, which is to say that he doesn't. Eventually, after what feels like an eternity, I managed to take down the big boy. My wonder's looking worse for wear, as I did barely any damage, and I'm pretty sure I've pulled a muscle in my dignity. But hey, a win's a win. After the fight, I have a little chat to this little ambassador, and we chat a little, and we notice that the other guy that was supposed to be with him is nowhere to be found. So I accuse him of murder, and the ambassador did not take that very well.
Envoy?
Seems a bit sus if you ask me. Anyways, I go to touch this one rock. I forgot to mention that there has been this random voice in Randy's head that talks to him sometimes. Quite strange, but I touch this rock and I have a little conversation with this being. And she kind of like just offers me some type of power. But in return, I have to do something for her in the near future. So I'm not sure what I have gotten myself into, but I guess we shall see. I start making my way back to the Paradise City because I said to the ambassador that I would meet him there. Upon reaching the Paradise City, I was quite surprised to have such a warm and celebrated welcome. Nah, just kidding, I got shot and I'm dead. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed this type of game and gameplay, please just let me know. I would definitely love to make some more like this. But you guys must have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of the day it is. You guys just have a legendary one. Yeah. Cheers, guys.